So what are contingencies? Contingencies are conditions that must be met in order for a real estate transaction to be completed. They are included in an offer to purchase real estate in Wisconsin and are designed to protect both the buyer and the seller. Here are some common contingencies found in a Wisconsin offer to purchase. Financing contingency. This contingency states that the purchase of the property is contingent on the buyer obtaining financing. It will specify the amount, the interest rate, and the length of the loan. If the buyer is unable to secure financing, they can back out of the deal without penalty if you're within the contingency deadline. Inspection contingency. This contingency allows the buyer to have the property inspected by a licensed home inspector to identify any issues or repairs that might be needed. If the inspection reveals significant problems, the buyer can back out of the deal if they did not give right to cure, or they can negotiate with the seller to have repairs made before closing if they did give the sellers the right to cure, meaning they get to fix it. If the buyer and seller can't agree, though, the buyer can cancel the contract if still within the contingency deadline. Testing contingency. This is in addition to the inspection contingency and covers anything that needs a test like mold and asbestos. Next, the appraisal contingency states the purchase of the property is contingent on the property being appraised for at least the purchase price amount. If the property appraises for less than the purchase price, the buyer can back out of the deal or renegotiate with the seller. Title contingency. This contingency is actually automatically built into the contract and ensures that the property has a clear title, free of any liens or other encumbrances that could affect the buyer's home ownership. If issues arise during the title search, the buyer can back out of the deal or negotiate with the sellers to resolve the issues. Sale contingency. This contingency allows the buyer to get out of the deal if they're unable to sell their current home before closing on the new property. In recent years, during the seller market, it has been very difficult to write offers that get accepted with a home sale contingency. If this is something that you think you might need, I suggest exploring other options like selling first and finding temporary housing, or talking with lenders about different solutions that might include things like a bridge loan. It's important to note that these contingencies can be negotiated between the buyer and seller, and not all contingencies are required. However, including contingencies in an offer to purchase real estate can provide important protections for you as the buyer and ensure a successful transaction.